And we are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie. This is Poggy. And this is the Wolfie Poggy Show. We may be out of the playoffs, but we still have things to talk about, still things to dive into. First thing we're going to do today, one of the first things we're talking about today is Jake Moody. Kyle Shanahan said something wild, dude. That he's the right guy for the job. There's some conversation about it. We'll jump into that, like what the fuck. We'll get Poggy's opinion on that. Then we'll talk about Cam Ward and him quitting in the middle of the bowl game, how we feel about it, if that's good or bad, or like, is it a big deal? Because some people are making it a big deal. It's kind of a conversation. Talk about Shadur Sanders a little bit, our opinions on it, get his opinion on it, get my opinion on him. And then, of course, we're talking about the 49ers versus Lions. Just the expectations of it. If we win, if we lose, like how should we celebrate? How should we look at it? How should we feel? We'll talk about that. And then, of course, that's the subjects. I mean, those are the subjects we're talking about. But before we jump into that, we're brought to you by water. It's really good for you. H2O. You need it to live. It's good for your skin. It's good for your organs. It's good for your body overall. Gets me look at this skin. This is not a filter, dog. I'm shining bright because of water.
I think you need a filter.
Fuck you, man. I got Poggy over here with the cheekbones and stuff like that. That's because of water. Water is good for you. Sponsored by H2O. Get yours today.
Num num. Straight out the faucet.
Yeah. Filtered. Okay, filtered. Jake in the house. Good to see you. Hello.
What up, Jake? Papa J?
It's me. I've been wondering. All right. Papa J in the house. I was showing some love. That's what I like to see. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into those said subjects. Let me just drink my little bit of coffee here. All right. So, first subject. Let's just jump right into this one because I really want to talk about it because I really actually want to hear Poggy's opinion on this. I've been actually curious for a while now just because I was just so blown away. Kyle Shanahan says that Jake Moody is the right guy for the job even after this year and the previous year, saying there are things you can say in a press conference where you're still defending a guy because he's on your team and also being a little bit realistic. It's called word salad. And I feel like saying stuff like, I believe in him. He's the right guy. He's going to be the guy next year. Like just really reinforcing that. I feel like there's a better approach. And so I just don't understand it. And I just want, so first, Poggy, what do you think of this news that pretty much Kyle Shanahan believes in Jake Moody and that he is the guy for the job?
I don't agree with it. I mean, obviously, I think, what is he, 76% field goal? I mean, compared to 84% last season. I think the reason he's sticking to his gun is because they invested so much into him, right? A third-round pick for a kicker. So he's like, we made the right decision at the third-round pick, and we're going to prove it by sticking with him. So I think that's why he's sticking to his guns on this, that, hey, he's our guy. He hasn't lost any confidence in his kicking abilities, and he's still good. But he's, 7 of 15 on the road this season? So he's below 50% on the road. So, no, I think Kyle Shanahan's just firing stuff out his ass right now with him. So Papa J would probably say fire Kyle over this. But, I think he's just kind of he's trying to I just had a brain fart on what I was going to say, but he's just trying to show that the reason they picked him at the third round and trying to, I can't even think of the word.
It's all right. Would you say that it sounds like this was a Kyle pick at this point then? Because if he's really trying to put his effort out there, he's trying to really like defend the shit out of this pick, even though we just saw him versus Dolphins saying, motherfucker, throwing his tablet on the ground, being like, what the F is going on with this kicker? And I just my pushback on the third round draft pick thing, you're willing to move on from drop to Cameron Latu after 1 year, I think, or 2 years, something like that. You're willing to move on from what's his name? The running backs you got you got in the third round that were not performing. So I understand the first year being like, okay, it's a third round draft pick. He deserves another year. But you've shown in the history in the past that you've cut third-round draft picks after their second year of not performing. So I don't understand this sudden love, like this belief that Jake Moody is this guy. Because someone made the argument was like they don't want to see Jake Moody because it's happened before where kickers are poor on one team. And then, like, I think it was Carlson, he was on the Vikings, and they cut him. And he went to the Raiders, and he played phenomenal that year for him. Was the best kicker. He won best kicker or whatever. Mm-hmm. And some say that Kyle fears that happening to him. My argument to that is, well, guess what? There's not one person on this fucking planet that's defending Jake Moody saying, hey, he should be right for this team. That if he were to perform somewhere else, nobody would have a leg to stand on, A, and B, he just doesn't work on this team. Sometimes that happens. He doesn't work on this team, and it's apparent. It's obvious. His kicks are not straight. His kicks are literally like next to the pole. Like it's as if he's aiming for the pole, not the fucking middle of it. Or it goes so far left when he just needs to kick it right. And it's just insanely bad. I understand that it's a third round draft pick. I understand you invested that, even though it was a comp pick.
Yeah,
it was a
comp pick.
I understand that, but you're willing to move on from Latu and stuff, and like you got a lot of backlash, like he's a good kicker and stuff. You know, like you don't draft kickers in the third round, but we did it because we believe in him. You got to bite the bullet, and to not even make up the argument of like, yeah, we know that Moody is struggling, but we're still going to get his back. But you know, we're going to bring in some competition in the offseason. There are things you can say that defend Jake Moody, but at the same time being realistic. To say outright that he's the right guy and he's made of the right stuff, etc., is fucking absurd because I have not seen it. The man is not, it's not like he's just missing 50-yard field goals. He's missing 44-yarders, 42, 41, 49.
Anything above 40 and 40 and above, he's terrible. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 20 to 39 yards, he's doing great. I mean, that's kind of his spot. But yeah, he's 20. Sorry, give me a second here. He's 23 of 30 this year, 77. Let's say 70. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, 77%. So, I mean, it's not like he's.
How many of those kicks are under 50 yards?
Let's see here. Oh, under 50 yards?
Yeah. How many
he's 6 of 10, 40 to 49. The 40 to 49, 60%.
Missing one's okay.
And he's 50%, 50 to 59. So, I mean, 9 of 9, 20 to 29, 5 of 5 at 30 to 39. So, yeah, he's he's not very good outside the above the 39 yards.
He's not very good. It's just, again, it baffles me when I heard that in his press conference. I don't understand that kind of obsession with Jake Moody and this Michigan player. I don't know where it comes from.
It's him sticking to his guns that, hey, we picked him in the third round. I know it was a comp pick, but they invested so much into him that there were so many available players at that spot that they could have gone with. And so they're trying to, say, hey, we picked him at the spot. We made the right decision. He's our guy. And, if he would have been a fourth or a fifth round pick, he probably would have been cut by now,
yes.
If they wouldn't have invested so much into him.
You could argue that the ridicule that he got for that pick is what's reinforcing his argument of keeping him around. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, man, you got to bite the bullet and be like, okay, I made a mistake on this third round. But that happens, man. Not everyone gets their reaches right in the third round. They're reaches for a reason. Not everyone gets their first, second round picks even right, or first round picks right. It just happens. You have to bite the bullet. If the player's not good, or if the player's not helping the team, he's literally losing games for us. Like that's the problem. It's not like a minor position where another player can support him, like a wide receiver or an offensive lineman.
We get him in a position to make that field goal, and he can't do it. Yeah,
and he can't do it, and you need him. And it's an easy one. Brock Purdy does his job. He gets him to the position to score for any other kicker. He's playing like the backup kickers we picked up in the middle of the fucking season, and that shouldn't be the case. If literally was it Matthew Wright and I can't remember who the other kicker was. We picked those up. He's playing like those guys to that standard, and they have an excuse. Mm-hmm. Jake Moody does not have an excuse. You are a third-round draft. He could have been a fifth-round draft pick, sixth-round draft pick. You are supposed to be a starter for a team, not an emergency pickup. And you're not playing like that. You need to be cut for that reason. If you go and perform somewhere else, not one person on this fucking planet could be like, see, I told you we should have kept Movie. See, I told you, blah, 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 blah. Not one fucking person.
Care. Yeah.
So
kickers come and they go. I mean, we can replace them with somebody else.
Robbie Gold's, Justin Tucker's, what was it? Audrey's, whatever his name is for the Cowboys. Don't fall out of trees, man.
No.
Like, it's insane.
Tucker's having a bad year too. But yeah.
Who's that?
Tucker.
Oh yeah, he's playing. Yeah. He's having his wash season for sure. Yeah. He's actually kind of making a comeback towards the end of the season late. He's been playing pretty good actually as of late, but he had a very poor first half for sure. Very poor. Strawberry in the house. Papa J has a comment. I'm going to start calling Kyle Toys. I'm starting to call Kyle Toy Story because he never gets rid of his old toys. That is an argument you can kind of make. Like, he's kind of obsessed. Like, once that toy makes that rank of tier, he doesn't like to get rid of it. Wants to keep playing with it.
Well, it's a third-round pick that they made, so I mean, they're just trying to,
But they had that. But they're willing to move on from running backs that they picked in the third round. They're really
the running backs are, they compete. They have so many different running backs that come in and they fill that void. I mean, they could do it with the kicker, but I mean, they're just, I don't know. It's a strange thing, but that's fine. I think I agree with Strawberry. Bring somebody in the offseason, let them compete. But I don't know if they'll even replace him in the offseason. We'll see.
He has to say it. He's got 2 weeks left in the season. I still think he could bring someone in and compete in offseason. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you're here for that. It's like, I understand defending the guy. He has to say certain things. There's certain things you can say that defend the guy, but at the same time being realistic. You can say, for example, look, I believe in the guy. I think he's made of the right stuff, but as of this season, he's not performing as we would like or expect him to, but I still believe in him, and we're going to continue with him for the rest of the season. Acknowledging the struggle, but also saying I still believe him is different. But straight up saying I think he's the right guy, he's made of the right stuff, he can do it, is literally giving nothing to the fan base, no reassurances like he's being realistic or he's being real with the situation at all. You could say I believe in somebody, but then being like he's not performing. I love a guy, but he's not performing. You could say that, and then also bring up like, hey, we're possibly going to have to bring up there's another thing is in the offseason, if we do not bring in a kicker to compete with Jake Moody, I swear to God, if there is not some sort of approach, I'm not saying draft a kicker, obviously. I'm saying if you don't bring in serious competition, being like, hey, this guy in college is really good, we'll bring him in, we'll bring this guy in, and I don't hear about a kicking competition in the offseason, I'm going to lose my fucking mind because then that'll just be arrogance and stupidity.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, the Moody thing is what it is. I mean, just you need to do something.
I think Wisconsin was kicking for you. Yeah, he was. He was kicking for us.
He's 1 for 1 this season.
He's 1 for 1. It's also not his fault he was drafted that high, just like it wasn't Trey's fault he was drafted. I agree, it's not his fault, but if you're not performing, you're not performing. This is not a your fault, Jake Moody, for being drafted in the third round. What the fuck are you doing? But
he's just not performing. He's just not performing as a kicker. Really, is what it comes down to. So they need to do something to address it. I mean, I'm not saying address it now. I think he should come out and say, I don't think he should say Jake Moody's our guy. He's going to be our guy. I'm sticking to our guns. They need edge. It's just an area that needs to be addressed. So
he could be the undrafted, like he said, undrafted kicker. He'd be a 6th round pick, 7th round pick, 5th round pick, and he could be formed like this, and he would be getting the same judgment. He'd be like, "You're not a good kicker." Third round pick. It comes with the ridicule of not. It comes from the ridicule to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and the people that made the decision to draft a kicker in the third round because you do not do that. This is not a criticism of how dare you, Jake Moody, get drafted in the third round. Obviously, he doesn't have control on that, but he could be a 5th, 6th, 7th undrafted kicker and still be marked as a kicker who is not performing. So Brandon Aubrey, he's a really good kicker. Moody isn't one of Kyle's toys. I'm starting to get a little bit on board with it. Like,
I don't know if he's one of his toys. I don't know if he's one of his toys. I would just say that they're just trying to, I can't think of the word. He just picked at the third. He was picked in the third round. He was picked really high for a kicker. So they're just trying
While
to
there's
prove
other
why
players out
they.
there that are performing,
Yeah, they're just trying to, cover up why they picked him up so high.
It's not about the fan base. It's about the player. Yeah, it's about the fan base. It's about the player. That's what press conferences are for. They're for the fans. They're for the reporters. They're for the narrative that's being pushed out there. I do agree that you need to defend the player. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you can defend the player without having to give out false narratives and false hopes to the rest of the fan base, because we support the team as well. We represent the team as well. There's a reason. Like, honestly, if it was just about the player, there wouldn't be press conferences. If it was just about the player, there wouldn't be content recorders, creators, wouldn't be reporters. There wouldn't be time and day. Like, the team wouldn't give a time and day to reporters if it was just about the players. The reality is your job as a head coach is to inform the fans, to inform the public of what's happening and the reality of it. So I do agree that you need that. The one thing that comes first is the player, but there is a reality here where you need to report to the fan base. That is the reason why we have press conferences. That is the reason why we have reporters. That's why they're out there. So I do agree, player, got to defend Moody, but you can defend Moody by, like I just said, I believe in him. I think Moody could be a great kicker, right? He's not performing this year, but I believe in him. I think he can.
Especially on the road. He can't kick for shit on the road.
There's things you can say that, like, I just repeat myself, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying, like, how dare he not insult his player. I'm not saying that. I agree they need to bring in someone to compete, and they shouldn't be drafting kickers. Yes, I don't think if you want to draft a kicker with a 6th or 7th round pick, I wouldn't hate that, because players like that are supposed to be depth in the end anyway. Like, they're very rarely they become starters in the end. So 6th, 7th round pick, undrafted, I'd kind of be happy with a kicker. That's fine. But, like, yeah, you got to stay. I feel like once you stub your toe on this situation already, especially with the kicker position, do not repeat itself. You can't repeat itself. It doesn't matter if he brings in somebody in for competition. Moody does great in practice and off season, but he does horrible in games, in my opinion. And that's what you have to go off of, man. If he does great in practices, he goes great in off season, then you have to go off that. And if he wins the job, he wins the job. And that's just how it is. But if another kicker is good and better than him, he'll perform in practices. He'll perform in the off season. He'll perform in training camp, and you will see that. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If he didn't back the players, certain media would eviscerate him. Yeah. It's about the fan base. We're the ones paying the money. They're playing for us. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just I don't want to get too much on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He's going to stick with Moody, I think, during the season. He did say something about the high ankle sprain, and he thinks, his own words, common sense will kind of factor some of that into his kicking abilities, and during the offseason will give him some time to heal and get his kicking abilities up. So, I don't know if he'll bring somebody in to compete with him per se. I think he might just stick with Purdy and hope that he does do better next season. So we'll see. Or Moody, I'm sorry, I said Purdy. Jeez.
If he backs the player, he gets eviscerated. If he doesn't back the player, he gets eviscerated. It doesn't matter. But there's a middle. You can either 100% eviscerate someone, so then he gets critiqued for that. You can 100% eviscerate someone for this, or you can meet in the middle and be realistic, but also defending your player. There is a middle ground. There is that logic. There is that reality. There's a point. It's not like you have to be 100% negative or 100% positive. You don't have to be full on the one we shall not name, and you don't have to be full on David Lombardi. There is a middle ground here where you could be like, hey, I believe in a guy, but this is the expectation. Hey, I believe in my 49ers, but here's the expectation. I believe in the 49ers going to the playoffs earlier in the year, but the expectation, it wasn't. There's a middle ground you can meet that I feel like just outright saying, I believe in the guy, he's the right guy, he's made the right stuff. You are choosing to get eviscerated for that. But if you're giving someone not a realistic look on things, I feel like that is your job as a head coach. That is your job. It's one of the things head coaches hate doing. They don't like doing press conferences. They hate it. They hate it for a reason. 49er Brian, what up, my bro? 49er Brian in the house. Anders Carlson with the Green Bay, not Minnesota. He has moved around a bunch of teams. Hi, everyone. No, it was I remember the GM for the head coach. It's not Anders Carlson, or it could have been him. but there was a kicker that he played for, not this year, but there was a year older kicker, Carlson. His name is Carl. Last name is Carlson. He played for the Raiders, and he had an All-Pro year after the Vikings cut him in the preseason because he missed like 2 or 3 kicks in a row. This was like a few years ago. I'm not talking about recently. But Ken in the house.
I'd be more worried about his mental state, just honestly, about him missing all these kicks and things like that. So I do think bringing in some competition to see where he is mentally would be helpful. But I mean, whatever. I mean, Shanahan's going to do Shanahan things and make his own decisions. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's like
I think
if he were to I understand
a dead horse.
If you're trying to be positive, right, like all the time for the kicker, because that's the kicker's job. It's like you got to bring up his morale. He's done it last year. He's done it all season this year. I understand that, but now we're at the end of the season. Now it's time to be like, okay, this is what it is, right? Like that's what he was doing all season. He was like, that's what I was doing. Like, hey, let's believe in the kicker. He could turn around, so he could do it and stuff like that. But every opportunity, he hasn't shown up. Like every now and again, he makes a kick, but it's like that doesn't make you a great kicker. Like I don't know. You can put a lipstick on a pig, but it's still a horrible kicker. So I'm not trying to say like we should bash the kicker, and we're gonna move on from this subject and move on to the next thing. But I'm not saying to bash the kicker. I'm saying believe in your guy. Tell us the expectation. That's all I ask. All right. Next thing. This is going to be a college subject before we get to the 49ers versus Lions, because we have the draft coming up. We're going to talk about the draft a lot, do some film study. I've been watching some film. I've been watching some videos of college people trying to, being like, hey, do I like this guy? Do I like that guy? So we're going to start conversating a lot more about the draft, especially since we're out of the playoffs. Subject is, last night, Cam Ward only played half a bowl game and then was like, I'm out. And apparently it was just to get the record, the touchdown record of, I believe, the entire college. I don't know. I don't remember the details of that. But he just wanted that record, and then he was out. So because once he got that record at halftime, he was out. So what do you think of Cam Ward quitting? Is this a bad look on him, or do you think it makes sense for him to do this?
I mean, I think it makes sense for most of them to do this because all these bowl games are a joke to a lot of these players, especially going into the NFL. Why would you risk it? I mean, hey, now it is a bad look. Yeah, he goes in for the D1 record, gets the record, pulls himself out. It's kind of a stupid look for him. Yeah, it's kind of an immature look. He'll have a lot of questions to answer about that, and how he answers them, I think, will say a lot about his character. Now, that said, I think players should be smart about these bowl games, especially players that are moving on to the draft and to the NFL, because what were they playing for? The Pop-Tart. The winner's got a gigantic Pop-Tart. I mean, let's be honest here. He's getting ready to go to the NFL and make, life-changing money. Why risk your career in a game that really doesn't, it's not going to make a difference for you or anything else? At this point, it's about preserving yourself. I mean, I know it's a team sport, but it's at some point the player's going to have to start thinking about himself and be a little bit, selfish. I get it. I think it's smart, and I think a lot of these players need to kind of look at it and go, do I really want to play in a shit bowl? I mean, a Doritos bowl? Do I really want a bag of Doritos at the end of this game? Or am I going to blow? Well, it doesn't matter. But okay. What about if he blows out his ACL? What about if he blows out his ACL and his career is over?
Don't even play.
No, that's what I'm saying. Start. I'm saying there is a certain aspect that you can look at this and go, well, why did he even play? Well, because he wanted the record. Okay, but that's pretty stupid. He's got a lot of questions to answer, and that's why I said how he answers them will tell you a lot about his.
Because now people are not going to talk about how, oh, he beat the record. Ooh, people are going to talk about now how he went into a game, only half a game, to get a record. It's going to come with that now instead. If you wanted the record, then you should have got it in the games that you fully played, that you were contending to play. He completely screwed. I understand. I get it. He could tear his ACL. I understand that a serious injury could happen, hurting his draft stock. I know that. Then don't even play. Don't even put yourself in the position of a game plan if you're going to be like, no, I'm out. I don't know the whole story of like if he told the coaches this or not, if the coaches were prepared for something like this. Because if he just suddenly sprung,
they would be more than I would. Yeah, you would hope that they would know that they're probably not going to have their quarterback, that they probably plan to get him in there, get the Division I record, and bring him out. They had a game plan around that, but yeah.
So
I mean, it's not the cardinal sin for a player to pull himself out in college football.
No, it happens all the time, but they don't play half a game to beat a record and then come back. And that's the optics is. That's what makes it so bad is you got other players out there though who want to win a championship who are not going to go to the NFL. This is their moment. This is their moment to win a bowl game. This is their moment. And you kind of take that away from them. Again, we'll know further on in the draft process. Like the stories will come out like if like the coaches knew, if the players knew. That we don't know yet because that's a big deal to me. Well, the players have to know, right?
Well, the coach would have to know too. Mario Cristobal allowed him to come in and do that, right? Play for the record and then just sit on the bench. So whatever. I mean, the coach allowed him to do it. He did it, and he went and sat on the bench, and they lost the game ultimately to Iowa. But Iowa got a gigantic Pop-Tart. It's like I understand.
History, but they're now set. They're set in stone in history. They won the 20 whatever it was
Pop-Tart Bowl.
Pop-Tart Bowl.
Congratulations.
That's kind of stupid.
Guess who's going to remember that? Those players, and that's about it. No, you and I will never even remember that.
Do you not play for your team though? That's what I'm saying. Like you play for your
that's
team.
What I'm saying. You become selfish and you don't play for your team. I agree with you. Him playing for the record, that's pretty stupid and pulling himself out. Yeah, I think that's pretty stupid. I have seen players come in and play the first half and pull themselves. I've seen college players do that, and it's been fine. So, it's not very uncommon to see that happen. So
they pull themselves. Are they number 1 overall draft picks?
They're first round. Their first top 10 first round.
Are they
talent.
supposed to end up being the leader of the team?
Yeah, you see quarterbacks do it all the time. You see running backs. They pull
themselves out before the game. They don't even play in the game.
They don't play the full game. They won't play the full game. They'll come in, play maybe a first 3-4 snaps, and then pulled themselves out. I wouldn't say pull themselves out. They'll be on the sideline. Whether or not that was their decision or a coach's decision, probably more their decision than the coach's decision. But you got to factor in agents. At this point, they have agents, other people in their ear too, that's saying, "Hey, go do this. This is going to be good on your record." Blah blah blah. Maybe his agent's in his ear going, "Hey, go get that Division I record. Pad your stats a little bit. It's going to look a little bit better for you in your draft prospects. Nobody cares about the Pop-Tart Bowl. Pull yourself out after you get that stat."
The players care about the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Okay, but you're misinterpreting. You're saying the players. Do those players determine his draft pick? Do those players determine where he goes in that draft?
They determined those players did determine his record because they had to protect him. They had to score for him.
They still had a shit record. They didn't make the college playoffs, did they? You know what the most important thing?
They made a bowl. Players? Not every college makes a bowl.
No, nobody cares about the bowls. You know how many teams make a bowl? There's teams with 6-6 records that make a bowl. You know how important that is? Nobody gives a shit about those bowls, Wolfie. I'm telling you, these bowls are handed out like Cheerios. Okay. So listen, that's why I'm telling you that I know now for a lot of these players, it's important to them because it's their last game of the season, right? These seniors, it's important to them because they're never going to play football again. But to these guys that's going to the next level, why go in there? I think he should have sat from the beginning, but he wanted to get the record. Okay, whatever. I think it's stupid. I thought, my personal opinion, I think it's stupid. But then again, I don't really care. I think it's smart. Don't go out there, injure yourself for a Pop-Tart.
This tells me that this player, if he was in the NFL and there was an opportunity for a record, he wouldn't pull a Saquon Barkley being like, hey, in garbage time, let someone else come in and play.
NFL's different than college.
And try to break records, think about himself. He's not going to even think he's going to want the most money.
You're completely misinterpreting
that's what I'm saying.
College to NFL.
How would I
That's
not
the
look at
difference
that way?
between college, because you don't know
he says
anything
that
of
I
that.
want to beat the record so I can
Well,
be
Wolfie,
remembered.
you're coming from an aspect of knowing mainly NFL, right? How much college experience do you have? How much college have you watched? That's
Not
what
that
I'm saying.
much.
That's what I'm saying. So this happens a lot. That's what I'm saying. These
show
scouts,
me another quarterback who's done
these
this
scouts,
and
these
gone into the
scouts,
NFL and
these
was
scouts see it all the time.
selfless.
These scouts see it all the time, and they're gonna analyze his talent throughout the year. These guys sitting on the sideline and not playing during a bowl game is not a big deal. It happens a lot. It's not their last game. It's not their last game.
If he's in the Super Bowl, he's going to pull a Russell Wilson. Instead of realizing, hey, I want to win a Super Bowl for my team and give the credit to Marshawn Lynch and score a touchdown, he's going to throw the ball instead. He's going to want to throw the ball instead because he's going to want the glory. If he sat out the game, was like, hey, logistically speaking, if I sat out the game,
I think you're overthinking it. I think
you're really over, dude.
I think it bothers. I understand. That's fine, and I think that's fine. But I think you're really overthinking it. I mean, if you could probably look it up and see a lot of the media is going to say, well, it was stupid for him just going to get the record, but it's not uncommon.
What it does to the players who work their ass off. I understand that bowls are given out like Cheerios, like you said, but this is their last. It could have not have been the bowl.
It could have been their very last game. It's their last game of the season. Nobody. The only people it mattered to is, like I said, those seniors that are never going to play again, and that was their last game. And
play for your team.
You're playing, but he needs to think about his future. He needs to think about his future. He's going to the next level.
He needs to think about his future if he goes into the game that he possibly tears ACL and win a Division I game. Division I record.
Think about it. What's his career path doing? A lot of these guys are going to accounting, going to be a lawyer, going to do this. What's his career path? NFL, right?
Those are okay.
Right? Am I right? They already have their career path. Objectives. They already have their career path thought out. He has his career path thought out where he's going. He's projected, right, to go to the NFL, right, to make money.
First overall, to be a leader.
Exactly. First overall to make millions of dollars. So why sacrifice yourself?
Then why play the game in the first place?
I'm not saying I don't. I know.
But I think what we disagree on is the severity of that decision. That's what we disagree on. We both agree that he shouldn't have played. But you're also saying it's not that big of a deal for him to go in there and try to break a record.
No, I don't look upon it.
I think it shows personality. I think it shows who
I don't think it's that big of a deal. You're really overanalyzing it, and I think most top players would have done the same thing.
Do you think Brock Purdy would have done that?
If Brock Purdy was a top overall pick, yeah. Because you know what his agent
just to break the record and to be like,
yes, because you know what their agent would have told him? Your stats, it's going to appear on your stats. It's going to look good on you going to the draft. It gets you more money. It gets you more publicity. Wolfie, it's how they work.
All right.
Your agent, the more money you get, the more money your agent gets. So you think your agent's going to go, no, don't go out there and get the record.
I know, but to actually listen to him and make those decisions is on you as the player. He can tell you.
Think about it. He's a 20-year-old kid listening to a grown adult that sells ice to Eskimos at this point because these agents.
You can't say that word anymore.
Okay, my bad. Whatever it is.
Just as a warning, just as a heads up.
He sells ice to whatever you say it is. Yeah. Okay. But I'm telling you, these guys know what they're doing. They're very professional at these top tier agents. And they know what they're doing, and they could convince you to go in there and get that record, and be like, get that record, sit out the rest of the game, count your money.
All right, we got to move on to the next subject, but clearly goes through the comments. No one agrees with me, and I don't give a fuck. It's me against the world. I don't give a shit.
All right, so that's the difference between college and NFL. You watch mainly NFL. If you watch a lot of college, it happens. It happens. I agree. Don't play at all. But I mean, he did, and he got the record. It's just a lot of people around him, his agent, maybe his parents, Maybe other influences around him told him to go get it. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I will retract everything I said in my criticism. If it comes out, and I have to know this first, so this is all just judgment. If it comes out that the players knew that and the coaches knew that prior,
I guarantee you Cristobal knew it. I guarantee you Cristobal knew it.
But I also want
Mario Cristobal is kind of a slime bag.
Players. I want to know if the players knew. If the players knew, then fine. Okay, then they've accepted it and they were like, hey,
well, his backup quarterback would have known for it because he would have been practicing the whole time. So I'm sure the team knew about, hey, we're going to get him in. We're going to get him the record. That's it. So
that's how it's done in the NFL, guys. These players are paid no matter what. Fact Strawberry. Bowl games, yes, they are. Bowl games are pretty meaningless. Protect against injury is the thought. I am certain. I agree, but he should not just not like. Again, that's the thing we both agree on. Just they should have.
I mean, yeah, I think it was pretty slimy. I mean, I agree with you. I just don't. Yeah, whatever.
In this one, Scott, sup, Papa J, and everyone else. Scott Lacoste, the junior in the house.
What up,
buddy? College and the NFL are different. So few college players even make the NFL. Agree with Poggy. It just. As long as the players knew, I guess that's the only thing I could say. As long as the players knew,
it doesn't. That's what I care. But you got to think about it. At that point, you become selfish. I mean, that's what it really comes down. You got to be selfish. I know it's a team sport, but you really got to think about yourself. But because you're looking at your career, your career's not in college. Your career's in the NFL where you're going to get paid a lot of money.
Okay, let me ask you something. If you were to get that record, we're gonna move on from this just really quick. If he would have made any fucking difference in the draft, to me, he already solidified himself. Whoever takes him was going to pick him there anyway. Whoever wasn't going to take him wasn't going to take him in there anyway. I don't think that this helped him in any level. All it did was just solidify his record in college, doing nothing for his career.
I agree. So I completely agree.
If it's for his NFL career,
you have to ask him, and you have to ask him and his agent. Maybe he saw it as a money grab. Maybe he saw it as more potential, for something. Who knows? I mean, the record's been there since 2010, 2011. So who knows?
Didn't Joe Burrow I thought Joe Burrow had the record.
No, it wasn't Burrow. Different? It was some other kid. Yeah. But it's like Kenny or something like that. It's been there for a long time.
It might be with NI money, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean it's different money that goes through. But his agent might have seen something for a money grab and said, "Hey, if you get this."
That's the agent's job. I'll give you that. I'll give the agent's job is to be like, hey, how can you maximize the money? But it's the player's decision to be like, hey, what should I do for myself in this situation?
But you got to realize that agent has a ton of influence on these kids.
It's true.
Ton of influence. So,
all right. So let's move on to the next. We'll try to keep this short because I don't really know how much we could talk about it very long because we both agree on this. Shedeur Sanders is buns. He is not good.
Buns.
I do not think he's McDonald's buns. All right. He's not good, dude. I'm sorry. Like he throws a pretty ball. He does throw a pretty ball. He does throw some neat passes here and there, but the amount of the talent that he has, the trait that he has is losing fucking yards in field goal range and taking sacks. The dude does not throw the ball away at all. He constantly thinks about the big play, trying to make plays all the time. And the dude has been absolutely carried by Travis Hunter throughout the entire year. That entire game versus BYU, Shedeur was trying everything he can to not pass it to Hunter. But every time he did, shit was happening.
Yeah, it's just an embarrassing game. Yeah, I mean it's like I said. I've said it before. I mean, they're gonna go top 10 picks. These three quarterbacks. I'm not big on them. I've already said it. I'm not big on the first round quarterbacks, and it's tough, man.
You got criticized for that, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. It's gonna prove in the NFL. So I mean, what he threw. He threw two interceptions. I mean, he got sacked a few times. So, I mean, it's not like, Travis Hunter was the best thing to watch during that game in BYU's defense. Their quarterback was trash. BYU's, didn't he throw like 4 interceptions that game or something?
They threw like 3 or 2.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, BYU, it's not like, it was just.
That safety on BYU, though, Glasgow, was pretty good. That guy's 6'5". He looked really good. He made that insane pick. He intercepted Shedeur Sanders, we was trying to throw it to, I don't know who he was on the sideline, and he made that crazy pick. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if he's a draft prospect. I got to check that guy out. Glasgow from BYU looks really good.
But it just, Sanders, I agree with you.
I don't think, okay, so he could turn out to be a good quarterback. Shedeur Sanders could turn out to be a good quarterback, could end up being a future franchise quarterback. That could happen. But if you're looking at him as a first overall pick, top 10 pick, I don't know how you can. If you want to say to yourself, oh, he had a poor offensive line. Even if he had a poor offensive line, he's not putting elite tape out there. So you draft players based on the tape they're putting out there. So let's say it's because of the offensive line. There's nothing out there that justifies the pick. You can't be like, okay, he could be good, but where's the tape that shows you that he is this guy? It's not there. It's just
I'm not a big Sanders fan, so
I understand. Like, we love him. He's got, his dad is Deion Sanders and stuff. I'm trying not to make him like a nepo baby-esque kind of type argument here, but it seems like it's all flash, no substance, man. Just constant. I wanted to like Shedeur. I do. Some people are saying he has escapability. No, he doesn't. He's got a little twitch and somehow loses yards.
He gets sacked all the time. He's one of those guys that goes for he makes bad decisions when he tries to escape and he gets sacked. So, I don't know what people are thinking about. But, I mean, people that are criticizing can go ahead and criticize because obviously they haven't watched tape. So, or they haven't watched games because I've watched a lot of these games. And like I said, these quarterbacks in this first round, I'm just not sold on them. So,
who are your top three quarterbacks again? What was it? Cam Ward, Carson Beck, right?
Well, I think Cam Ward. Really Cam Ward and then Milroe. I think Beck might be. He's more of a pocket guy. He's not going to get outside.
Kirk Cousins-esque kind of type quarterback.
He's not going to run outside the pocket. I think he's going to take a couple years to develop, anyways. But Milroe from Alabama. But he misses open reads. Is the downside about him. But I think Cam Ward will be pretty decent. We'll see. But I don't, like I said, first round quarterbacks, man, there's no guarantee. And these people, every year, people jump on this wagon of these quarterbacks in the first round, and you might hit 1 in 10 every 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, these first round quarterbacks just aren't a thing. And I think people are putting too much pressure on these guys, and they need to start looking elsewhere than these quarterbacks.
To move on to the next thing, just get through these comments real quick. We'll move on to the next subject. He's had negative rushing yards every year, even a ton of rushing attempts because he takes too many awful sacks. They're terrible sacks. Like, they're not just like he stands in the pocket and is laid out. He fucking runs backwards for 20 fucking yards and loses a shit ton of yards, dude. Negative 77 rushing yards with 105 attempts is insane. That is crazy.
Pretty good stats. Pretty good average.
Hey, that sounds like a record to me.
Right? Yeah, he got the record. He should have just sat out that game.
He will have landed a perfect spot. If he goes to a team like the Jets or Titans, he will be cooked. If he goes – okay, so the projection – and I like what Strawberry said here, which is O-lines in the NFL are not going to be any better in college. You know what? The team that he expected to go to, which is the Giants first overall, which he's claiming he's going to go, he even made cleats of the New York Giants as if he's going to go there. After this game, I don't know if I'm the Giants. I'm like, I may have told him this, but I changed my mind.
Yeah.
That O-line for the Giants is trash. What I'm trying to say is if his O-line was terrible in college and that's the product he's going to put out there because of his O-line, he's going to repeat it again with the Giants because the Giants have a trash O-line too.
They have nothing to protect him.
So if that's his excuse, why would you want to go there? Why do you think he's going to do any fucking better if his O-line is the reason why he's trash? I think it's just Deion Sanders, and I'm not trying to like bash on Deion here, but I think it's just Deion putting it out there. O-line needs to play better. O-line needs to do his job. O-line, and not ever putting the blame on his son. Ever. He never does it. And I just like I don't know. Just that's how I feel about Sanders. I just don't think he could be good, but we're talking about him being a first round draft pick is fucking wild, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Line per spot. Scott, unfortunately, that is where he's going to end up. Yeah, he's going to end up with the Jets, Titans, possibly even the New York Giants, possibly because they're stupid. They can't even protect him, so I don't know why that would even Like, why would you want to draft a quarterback first overall? I would trade back easily, get some O-line, and then work on the quarterback next year where you can get Peyton Manning's cousin, what was his name? Archie Manning, get Marchie Manning out there. You can draft Quentin. You can draft Quentin Ewers later on, Carson Beck later on to believe in them instead. Like, it doesn't make any sense to force the issue with your starting quarterback being Sanders when his biggest complaint is, I have a shit O-line. You're going to have a shit O-line. So Beck coming off UCL surgery. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, on his elbow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's bad, isn't it? Isn't that that could be like a career-ending injury, isn't it?
No.
That's his arm, isn't it? Or is that his leg?
It was his elbow.
His elbow.
Yeah, it's UCL on his right elbow.
Which teams are we rooting for? Are still in the playoffs? We'll talk about that in a second. I'm pulling for Minnesota. What's your team, Scott? I'm a Niners fan. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Okay, so that's how we feel about Shedeur Sanders. That's how we feel about Cam Ward and his situation. I do think Cam Ward deserves the number one spot, though. I agree with you. Like, even with the drama that I think it is, and you saying it's not a big deal, he's still the best quarterback, and you still draft him. I think the Giants draft him first overall if they were to do it, even though I think they should trade back and try to get offensive line first and then focus on the quarterback because you want to protect your investment. That's kind of like what we've been saying about Brock Purdy. Shit offensive line, need to protect your investment, and we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. So talking about him being the number one overall pick, I know it's wild, dude. I don't understand that at all. I don't know how you look at that film and think to yourself number one overall pick. But anyway, I digress. All right, the teams that we're going for in the playoff race, even if the Lions destroy us, I'm still going for the Lions, man. I understand that they have animosity. I understand that they have thoughts of revenge against us, even though we're practically a cripple in a wheelchair. Okay.
Yeah, they still hate us for last season, even though it was really them that blew it. I mean, they should have hated themselves. I have friends from Detroit, and they're like, I hate the Niners. I'm like, well, you guys are the ones that lost. You're
the one that went for that fourth down.
Yeah, I mean, it was your guys' game to lose. I mean, you really lost it, not us winning it. You really gave
We just took advantage of the stupid shit that you decided to do. Yeah. But yeah, they have that animosity. Me as a 49ers fan, I don't. I mean, if the Lions fans, like, if they beat us and they keep drilling into me about it and stuff like that, I think I'll grow some animosity and not want to root for them. But as of right now, I mean, like, if they want to get the revenge against a contending team last year that's practically in a wheelchair and they're fucking Mike Tyson at this point, they want to brag about that, whatever. And if it means something to them like that, fine, whatever. But if the Lions
not a revenge game to me. It's just a game.
Yeah, it's not really
I mean, if we were a good team, I could see it as a revenge team. Like if we were in a playoff spot or something like that, I could see it as a revenge game. But we're not even competing for a playoff spot.
So I got the Lions. Minnesota can win, but the only thing I hate about Minnesota winning the Super Bowl is it comes with the narrative that,
I don't want
Darnold's better than Purdy. It's the only thing I hate about it. But I would like for Minnesota to win in that aspect because they haven't won one. The Bills would be nice.
I'd rather the Bills win than them. I mean, I'd rather see the Bills win.
Because it doesn't put any narrative on us. And that's what kind of like that, like in a selfish way, like I care because they've lost 4 Super Bowls in a way. They kind of deserve it. That fan base deserves a Super Bowl at this point. They've generally been a nice fan base, very supportive of everyone around the NFL. They donate to charity consistently. I just feel like they deserve one. And again, like I just said, it doesn't affect us on any bullshit, like made up narrative way where it's like, oh, see this guy, oh, see this team, blah, 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 blah. We don't have to hear that. So that's how I feel about that. But coming back to the Lions though, and I guess we kind of talked about it. What actually, before I jump into it, what teams do you got going to that you want to win the Super Bowl?
Lions, really. Lions, Bills. I'd like to see Lions, Bills in the Super Bowl. I don't want the Vikings. Bengals? I don't want the Vikings. I don't even think Cincy's in it, really. They might be on the outside looking in.
They might actually make it. Tua's not playing. They need the Dolphins to lose, and Tua's not playing because he has his hip injury is aggravating him. Injury-prone motherfucker. And then the Colts play another team, they potentially lose. So there's still a window they can make it. If the Bengals go, then I got the Bengals too. Why not? I like Joe Burrow.
Chargers. I like the Chargers, but I don't think they'll make it.
I don't know, because then that would destroy my narrative that I hate Justin Herbert and he won a Super Bowl.
I know you're such a hater on Justin Herbert.
He's not that good. He's a product of Jim Harbaugh because Jim Harbaugh's good. He's an excellent coach, and he's a quarterback guru, and he's unlocking this mediocrity of Justin Herbert.
Keep pressing.
So coming back to this real quick. All right, so that's who we're going for in the Super Bowl. Hopefully they win. If Bengals go, of course, I got them going. If they could win, that'd be dope. Dolphins, Colts to lose. Broncos lose next week. We will win next week. Yeah, Broncos play the Chiefs, and they could lose, so that could happen. Strawberry says, Jake, I'm a Niners fan, but I do root for the Bengals. I live in Cincy area, and I went to the rival high school of Burrow, so I always root for Burrow no matter where he plays. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing Bengals. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, anybody but the Chiefs and the AFC, I'd be happy with.
The
Ravens,
Chiefs,
I don't care. Yeah, Ravens, I don't care. Any of those teams,
just because of that narrative.
Yeah, I don't. Vikings and Chiefs, I'm okay with anybody. Even the Lambs going to the Super Bowl, I don't care as long as they lose.
If they go to the Super Bowl, and they lose, that's fine. But if they win, if it's them versus the Chiefs, I'm going for the Rams. If the Rams play,
versus the Chiefs,
I'm going for the Rams.
Listen, I know there are NFC West rivals, but there's nobody I hate more than the Seattle Seahawks. So, Chiefs and Seahawks are probably my two least favorite teams in the NFL. And if those two are ever to make the Super Bowl, I wouldn't watch the Super Bowl. So I would just
Seahawks versus Chiefs.
Yeah, I would never watch that. That's a tough one. I wouldn't watch that Super Bowl at all. I would just go do something else.
I'm just going to do something. That's how I felt with the Eagles versus Chiefs. I didn't watch that game. I did not watch the Eagles.
I wouldn't watch that either. Yeah.
I woke up to the Chiefs winning, and I was like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's go back to the Lions game. So it's kind of what we talked about a little bit. The Lions are treating this game, literally from what I hear from St. Brown, Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, all the rest of the Lions, they're treating this game as if the 49ers are actual Super Bowl contenders this year, as if they actually are a force to be reckoned with this year. So they're going to come into this game regardless if it's 55-7, destroy us mentality.
Who cares?
Now, my thing is, should you feel embarrassed if we lose this game? Because I'm going to talk about if we win.
No.
But if we lose this game and get dominated, should you feel embarrassed at all?
No, we've been dominated this season by teams, so who cares? It'll be nothing new that hasn't already happened this season.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, it's not as if I feel like the embarrassment word would make sense if the expectation was this is going to be a hard fight and we get blown out. Then that would be embarrassed. If the expectation was this was going to be a close fight and we get destroyed, then I'd feel embarrassed. If we're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders and they destroyed us, then I'd be embarrassed. But the expectation is literally us to get blown out and destroyed because of our circumstances, because of what we've gone through all year, injuries, holdouts, we go down the list of it. Mm-hmm. The expectation is for us to get dominated. So it's kind of like when we beat the Bears, right? It's kind of like if the Lions, not the Lions, but I'm trying to think of another team that's not in the division. That's really good. So like if the Vikings, are the Vikings the same division? They are the same division. That's a really good division. Sorry. So it's like if the Bills were completely wipe away the Bears. Should the Bears feel embarrassed? No. It just makes sense because their team is ass. Mm-hmm. If the Bills beat the Giants by like 50, should the Giants feel embarrassed? No, it just makes sense. Like, I don't feel, and it's just some content creators out there are saying like, hey, we're gonna get embarrassed on live television. It's the expectation, dude. We're in a wheelchair. Okay, we got a broken arm. We have a concussion while this dude is Mike fucking Tyson. It just makes sense. So I don't understand how you feel embarrassed. I just feel like if we were to win this game, if we were to make this close somehow, it would be a fucking miracle. And that would be a win in itself. If we somehow even make this game close, that's a win in my book. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win. So to say that we lost and it's embarrassing is a stupid narrative that people want to put out there for 49ers fans to feel bad about losing to the Lions, who are literal Super Bowl contenders, while the 49ers are thinking about next year. Okay? I hate that narrative. It drives me nuts when I hear content creators say embarrassment. There's a difference between embarrassment and then expectations of losing. So that's pretty much, you don't want to say too much about it, and you disagree that it's not an embarrassment, it's just how it is. So with that being said, how do you feel about if we were to win this game? How would that make you feel?
Okay.
You would not feel great about it? I'd feel fucking static. I would hate the fact that we lose draft position.
I mean,
But I would be like, yes, dude, we beat the Lions. That's crazy, dude.
No, I don't. I mean, okay, we beat the Lions, but I just don't. Well, our season's still over. It's not going to make or break our season. So, I mean, that's cool. We beat the Lions, but yeah, I don't think it would. I don't know. I just, it'd be cool to see us win. Yeah, I'd be happy, but I mean, whatever.
Well, how do you feel about if we were win this game, we would lose draft position though?
Hey, who cares?
What are we, the 11th pick right now? I think. If we lose, we're like the 10th or 9th pick.
Yeah, who cares? That's fine.
So you really don't care about this game, win or lose.
Win or lose, no. Draft wise, no. I don't think. I think we could still get a really good offensive lineman if we drop in the draft. So if we win, cool. But it just makes the Detroit fans hate us more. But I mean, no,
that's true. That's gonna be
like
one of those cursed things with the Green Bay Packers and Cowboys.
I'm just not. I don't really. This game isn't a make or break game for us at all. It doesn't. There's really no. I want to say meaning to this game for us because it's not a rivalry game. It's not a. To them it's a. They beat us last season. Oh, we got a brute. No, really, dude, we're beat up. We're playing. We're playing our offensive lineman. Who's our offensive line? So
right.
We got him from the McDonald's drive-through. So we were
right tackle.
Shanahan was at the drive-through, like, you're a pretty big dude. You want to come play some offensive line? Like
that's pretty much what he did. Yeah.
I don't. This game is going to be what it is, and if we pull off a win, cool. But it doesn't change our season. It's not going to make us a better team than Detroit. It's like Detroit might have just had an off day, I guess. I don't know. I don't see much there.
The way I look at it is like, okay, so we got our ass beat throughout the season, stabbed, shot, etc., and we're laying there dead. And the Lions are like, you beat us last year. Just kicking us and shit as if like you are the ones that somehow knock us out of playoffs, as if it literally it creates history of like we beat the 49ers. It's like we're dead on the ground, bleeding out. Like we're practically 6 feet under.
I mean, we're already on life support, so
we're on life support. We're dead.
It doesn't. This isn't a make or break game for us. It doesn't make a difference to our season. So, win or lose, I'm okay either way. I'm gonna watch it. So hopefully, I'll be able to watch it. So, we'll see.
This will be. I know you got to bounce, so let's get through these comments. Poggy has to. We had to make this short. We have to make this show short because Poggy has a late Christmas party too. He's super excited about that. So we're trying to get through these comments real quick and then do predictions real fast, and we'll get them out of here. So this will be an essential must-lose, fam. We need an easy schedule. Juan, you're right. If we win, apparently, if we lose if we get last in the NFC West, which I think it's guaranteed already at this point.
We're last.
If we're last, we get the AFC South next year and the NFC South next year, which are the two worst divisions. So there's a lot more benefit to losing than winning here, not just draft-wise. So I'm not entirely against losing and being excited about it. I'm going to be like, yeah, we lost.
Little easier schedule for us, yeah.
Yeah. My family are mostly Browns fans. So they would never have fun to watch. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, man. That's terrible.
Bags over your heads.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I hope the Eagles fall flat on their face. Same here, dude. I do not want the Eagles to win. I think somebody said I want the Eagles to win. I don't know who it was, but someone said that. I think it was Karen. I can't do it. I know that Michael's daughter is an Eagles fan. I got you, but there's just way too much animosity towards that team. I can't do it. Strawberry, we got to be Giants and Browns fans this week. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. I'm rooting for Green Bay in the playoffs. Really? That's shocking here. I do not want to win this game. I do nothing. It do nothing for me, and it make our schedule harder. Nothing gets Poggy excited. He gets excited
I'm always excited. What are you talking about?
One time I was editing a video and I sent a photo to him where he was talking about the Patriots. And I paused it, try to edit, and I look at the screen and he's like, like over animated. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna turn that into a.
That's one of his comments,
It doesn't matter for the season. I agree. Bah humbug, Poggy.
I can't stand parties.
It's kind of wild that Detroit is only favored by 3.5. Vegas seems really only 3.5.
I would think they'd be like a 21. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, dude, that's a trap.
Their offense is really good.
Take the over on that.
I would take the over for sure.
Take the over, brother.
In fact, I'm going to bet. Let's see here.
Right. I'm afraid San Fran is going to get massacred by the Lions. Maybe it could beat Arizona next week. I'm not afraid of that. Like, I know it's going to happen. It's the expectation.
That's
honestly,
what should happen if you're a Detroit fan.
Should happen. You got nothing to lose by losing this game. You have more things to gain. There is nothing you gain from, honestly, winning this game. The only thing you get is kind of you lose draft position, possibly even the last place in the division for that situation, but you get bragging rights against the Lions, who for no reason. Like it just I don't know. I'm not afraid of losing this game. I'm probably during the game I'm going to be emotional because I am watching my team lose. That's just how it is. But I'm not going to feel embarrassed. I'm not going to be like, this doesn't make sense. If we lose, it will be the last division. We'll face the Giants, Browns, and Giants, Bears next season. But if we win, we'll get third in the division. We'll face the Bengals, Packers, and Cowboys. I'm not really a fan of Packers and Cowboys if we're healthy. Bengals, if anything, kind of have our number. It would be nice to see this team with a little bit of fight. It would be nice, but I mean, like what do you expect them to fight with when you got literally cones you picked up on Christmas Eve, a cone you picked up on December 19th. You got Nick Zakel playing left guard. You got Brendel, who's complete ass, the worst center in the league. And you got Pooney. Yeah, he's great. Looks like an all-pro, future all-pro guy. But he's still a rookie, and he's going to make mistakes, especially with a team, especially with a line that you haven't played with all year. Because offensive line is like the ultimate chemistry. Everyone has to work together, know what they're doing, part of the NFL, part of the game. Like, that's so important. And when you're constantly switching out offensive linemen all the fucking time, you're not going to really do much, not give the quarterback much time, not to mention you're going to make a ton of mistakes or holes that the Lions are going to take advantage of left and right. Teams were already taking advantage of this offensive line already because people figured out the scheme when it comes to the offensive line protection. Now imagine having that with literally paper wall as your defense. I don't see this team fighting just because it's going to be hard to do that in general. We got to be Giants and Browns fans this week. Hey, I'm rooting for you. Vax Nikita loves her Eagles, but she's a good person. Yeah, she's good. Hey, she's good company. Good company. I respect her. I respect Michael. I respect the entire family. They're good peeps. Hey, AR's out and Tua's out, so we shouldn't lose hope. Yeah, you guys, I do think the Bengals could make the playoffs. There's a good chance of that. I expect a 45-10 blowout. I'm going to say 35, possibly even 7. Like 35-7, 35-6, 35-9, something like that. I think Moody's going to have to make a lot of kicks, boost his confidence a little bit.
On the road. He's solid on the road.
Oh, this game's on the road?
No, we're at home. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I
misread that.
Yeah. A lot of kicks because he can't do that. So, all right. That's how we feel about the 49ers and Lions game. It means nothing to us. We benefit a lot more from losing and gain pretty much nothing from winning. So, and the expectation is to get our ass beat, and that's the reality of it. So, all right. Moving on to the pick'ems, and then we'll bounce out of here. Still, even though I lost, because he cheated, okay? Because he cheated somehow. Yeah. I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know what it is. Debo's gonna get 160 yards for some reason. Oh, I didn't think about that. Last week against the Dolphins, man, he fucking balls out for dude, what the fuck?
I hope he does get 160 yards.
He's just gonna get ridiculed for that too. Just be like, hey man, you should have done this against the Rams. When we needed you the most. All right, bring it up all right, here we go. Prediction time. We can go through these, like who do you expect to win and who you're surprised by, and then we'll make the picks. Yeah. Baltimore Ravens at the Texans. I expected.
I expect the Ravens. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I didn't expect 31-2 though. That's got to be a scoregami.
That's
a weird score.
Yeah, it was 31-2. Yeah, they did. I remember they got a safety. Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a safety on Derrick Henry. That's right. Yeah. 6-3. Yeah, I would have picked the Seahawks, but I thought they would have won a little bit more than that.
But a lot more than that, dude. I was like, what? We beat this team 38 to what, 13? And this team only got 6 points, and we lost to the Seahawks earlier this year.
That's how bad we are, yeah.
Yeah, that really hurt me like a little bit. I understand that it's like whatever, different schemes. You can make whatever excuse you want, but it's like, you never have someone just poke you like this. It doesn't hurt, but just after a while, it's like that. It's like this team scored 6 points against the Bears, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It irks me a little bit. I'm not upset. It doesn't make me mad. It's not ruining my day. But if I think about it, it's like, why, dude? Why? This team's not going to win. If they go to the playoffs, this team's not winning a Super Bowl.
The Rams, I think, are going to go. So,
yeah, the Rams are going to go. I think they clinched a playoff spot last night against the Cardinals.
Yeah, Herbert balled out that game. I would have picked Chargers. Yeah, Herbert did his thing that he usually does. So
yeah, against the Patriots,
did what he always does. So yep, next. Clutch quarterback. All right, let's see.
This is like flexing it. Jared Goff's the greatest quarterback ever because he's going to destroy the 49ers. Same.
I would have picked the Broncos to beat the Bengals, but Bengals won.
Yeah, that was actually a really good game. If you're a Broncos fan, Bengals fan, you gotta really enjoy the game of it all. Even though if you're
I didn't see that game. Yeah.
It was
Broncos
good.
were on a roll. I would have picked them because I thought they've been playing pretty good. Bo Nix surprisingly has been playing pretty good, and I didn't think he was going to be good at all in the NFL. I didn't think he was going to be good at all. So
yeah, I made jokes at the beginning of the season, and now it looks bad because everyone's like, this aged well. It's like they were just jokes. Like he could have been good, but I did not expect him, like you said, to be this good so early on. And
he
might
be their guy.
Dude.
He might be their guy. So yeah,
dude.
I'm really surprised. I was like, well, he's a placement holder for somebody. That's good for him. I'm glad to see a Duck quarterback in there, kind of representing a little bit, but he's a placement holder. And then it's like what did he do?
Dude's throwing dives, clutch. He's making clutch throws. It was 4th and 1, I think, with like 10 something seconds left. There's like barely any time left. Throws a dime for Mims.
Yeah.
Right on his face mask, dude. Perfect spot. On the roll, like throwing like this. In between two defenders, double covered. It was a perfect spot for Mims to catch that. Credit to Mims for catching the ball, by the way.
Yeah.
But the ball was perfectly placed. That dude looks like an absolute stud. Bo Nix I'm shocked. He's going to be better than Justin Herbert. No cap. No cap. As the kids would say.
You got a cap on, but go ahead.
he's gonna totally. Bo Nix looks better than Justin Herbert right now. I'm sorry, he does. Like Justin Herbert had multiple years to get better. Bo Nix has a rookie season and he looks like a stud right now. Next game we got Cardinals at the Rams. This was kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
I knew the Rams. I agree. I think the Rams were going to win this, but like the Rams are just crawling their way into the playoffs. Like they're barely scoring. Their defense
whoever makes it in for the West, I think will be one and done. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a one and done game. We got a couple comments on it. I fucking hate the Rams so much. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're smug. They are. They're smug. They're in our division. It happens. They've won a Super Bowl more recently than us. There's reasons. There's reasons. Yeah, that was a surprise to score. I expected the Ravens to win. Yeah, that was a weird score. The playoffs will be worse without Burrow in it. And he's the chosen one that could beat the Chiefs. So I hear you. Seattle fans thought they were going in far in the playoffs, dude. They're not going to do that. There's no way.
They're not even going to make it.
Yeah. I've been calling out Bo Nix since college. I don't know. I mean, calling like he's going to be great or like calling him out as he's bad. I don't know. No. Rams are better than Seattle. True. You know what? Justin Herbert threw 4,300 yards his rookie season, a rookie record. Yeah, but it meant nothing in the end, did it? Like when you need him
still
a
good
most,
quarterback. I don't know what you're talking, but okay.
When you need him the most,
we can agree to disagree because you don't know anything. Okay, go next one.
All flash, no substance. All right, please, someone beat Kansas City 110%. 110%. Rams at the Cardinals, obviously, like you said, that was a shocker. I'm actually shocked how low the score was, but then again, the Rams were crawling.
Sleeper, yeah.
All right, so now our predictions. Colts at Giants.
It's easy, Colts. I mean, who cares?
I'm going to go Giants here just because, again, I'm with Jake here. I want the Bengals to make the playoffs, and they need the Giants to win. So I'm going to go Giants.
Yeah, I'll change it, Giants. Yeah, let's go with Giants. Yeah, we need Giants.
I already won the bets, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't give a crap.
All right, so you got the Giants. We got the Giants. I think the Giants are going to win by 10 points. So, Jets at Bills.
Do we need to even?
No, we don't. Raiders at Saints.
Do we need to do that one too?
I'll give a quick comment. I know that
Raiders are terrible, man.
As a quick comment to the
they're going to get Sanders.
A quick comment to the Bills game. Aaron Rodgers is going to treat this game like it's a playoff game, and it's just.
Didn't he get benched by a kid? No.
Raiders at Saints. You just said the Raiders are trash. So the Saints are pretty bad as well.
Yeah, I think.
But I think the Raiders are better than the Saints here, and the Raiders are not playing for a better draft pick. Clearly, because last week they beat the Jags, which I
think they're going to play for a better draft pick.
You think they're playing for a better? I don't think so, man.
I think Saints will win. I think Saints.
You think the Saints will win? I got the Raiders on this one.
Okay.
I'm so confident the Raiders are going to win. I think the Saints are going to play for a better draft pick, while the Raiders, like the head coach said, it's not my job in the draft. That is the GM's job. My job is to win games. Mm-hmm. This team is actually trying to win games. Isn't that? That's fucking hilarious. that's the hilarious. But they've been losing games trying. Panthers at Bucks.
Bucks.
Dude, the Panthers are playing hot though, man.
Okay, pick the Panthers. Do what you usually do and lose.
Do what I usually do, I lose. What do you mean by that? What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I mean, what was your record?
Because I believe in teams, all right? You cheated, I'm telling you.
Okay, Rudy, let's go.
You cheated somehow. Juan's got Herbert as a top 5 quarterback.
Most people do, but yeah, keep going.
No, they don't. That's crazy, Juan. We need the Saints to win for our draft pick. True. Let's have the Saints win. Saints need to beat the Raiders. You're right about that, but I'm still think the Raiders are going to try and win it. Juan agreed. That's an elite list. Y'all believe in Herbert for some reason. I don't know why. Colts says Strawberry. I might put Lamar ahead of Allen. I don't know. 2 and 4 is interchangeable. It depends on playoffs, because they're both kind of like Allen performs better in the playoffs, but Lamar doesn't. But Allen still kind of chokes. I don't know. Bills, Raiders, so are the Saints. So Panthers at the Bucks. I'm gonna take Panthers. I'm doing it. I'm gonna look dumb, but I don't care. I'm doing it. Well, I believe in Bryce Young.
You're pretty good at it. So.
Fuck you, man. All right, so we got Panthers at Bucks. I was picked up Tennessee Titans at the Jaguars. I knew you were going to pick the Jaguars. For some reason, you believe in Trevor Lawrence.
They're at home. Yep.
You think Trevor Lawrence is the top 5 quarterback in the league.
What?
Yeah, you think everyone, Poggy told me that Trevor Lawrence is the top 5 quarterback in the league.
When did I do that?
You say it all the time. You say it every single week. I have proof.
Show me the tapes.
Show you the tapes. All right. So you got the Panther. I got the Panthers. You got the Bucks. And then you got the Jags. I'm going to take the Titans here.
Yeah, I think you should.
I'm going to take the Tits.
Yeah,
I think they could do it.
I think your record's really going to improve this week.
I'm going to make a close comeback. You're going to choke away. Watch. You're going to choke us away. This is the shit bowl here. Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles. But hey, they're division rivals. Division rivals are not the same.
I know Eagles are still going to win because Cowboys are terrible.
Kenny Pickett is playing quarterback.
Yep, still Eagles. Yep, you should pick the Cowboys.
Fuck you, dude. I can't do it. I can never. I'm picking the Cowboys like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts. Yeah, I got to go Eagles, man.
Picking Cowboys is like picking a booger and eating
it. Wait, so you've picked your boogers a couple of times this year because you've picked the Cowboys a couple of times.
Well,
you walked right into that
them too.
All right, so Eagles. You're like, I'm eating W's with those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out Mahomes isn't playing for Week 18. He should sit out with that. Yeah, it's sad to see the last few weeks teams are getting excited for the playoffs, and we sucked. It's all right. I mean, you've had time to mull it over and accept the reality that we're not making the playoffs, and that we're not. And I don't want to go down this path because we have to finish this and get out of here. But just quick, it's okay. We're gonna be fine. I understand people say next year, whatever, but some people say that, and it's all hope, and there's no reality to it. The reality is we've had such bad luck, such bad things happen, that if it repeats itself next year, it's highly unlikely. Next year, our window is still open. We still have plenty of players that can win games next year. It's going to be all right, okay? We can enjoy this season, root for the teams we don't want to win. We can do those things, be like, hey, we want this team to lose and hope for the best outcome. It's not over. It's okay. We're still going to perform next year. There's still a window next year. So it's okay, Karen. It's going to be all right. Poggy's on a roll. Eagles but Cowboys will keep it within one score. Yeah, I like that prediction. Titan says strawberry. Hey, we got Titans. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Yeah, but we need Broncos to lose next week. Against the Chiefs. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess I can.
I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, I just can't, dude. I'm sorry. I'm going for the Broncos. I know I want Bengals to go, but I can't do it, dude. I just can't. Eagles, Cowboys don't have Lamb. Oh, they don't?
Yeah, they don't have Lamb, no.
I got Eagles too as well. I'm going Eagles.
You should go Cowboys.
I'm not going Cowboys, man. It's not worth picking my boogers for no reason. All right, Dolphins at Browns. There is no Tua Tagovailoa.
What does it matter? I mean, it's the Browns.
The Browns are playing bad, but because they can play terrible too. Because you got Skylar Thompson playing quarterback.
Skylar Thompson's still better than the Browns.
Is he better than Jameis Winston or
yes.
DRT?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick the Dolphins too. Green Bay Packers at the Vikings. This
should be a good game.
Oh
I hope.
I might actually go live for this one. This one's actually.
Who do I want to win this game, and who do I think's going to win this game? I think the Vikings will win at home, but I kind of want Green Bay to win this game. I want Green Bay to upset the Vikings because I want Detroit to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. So
I want Green Bay
wins. They knock them.
Because they're tied with Lions. Yeah. So for position wise, I want Green Bay to win, but I think Vikings will actually win this game. But it's an inter-rival game, so yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Farts it. Go Green Bay as well.
Fartsickles.
Yeah. Did you say fartsickles?
Yeah.
The fuck?
I don't know.
Damn, Poggy and Wolfie, why you gotta do me doing like that? I'm sorry, dude. It's the Chiefs, man.
I can't.
It's the Chiefs, dude.
Chiefs. It's like Seahawks. I can't. I can't go for them.
Like Tyler Helton.
Hurts.
I know, best Chiefs fan I know, but
hurts. Sorry, it hurts.
Brother. Browns, Dolphins are garbage without two. Oh, Juan's got the Browns.
Dang, Juan.
He's part of the 8%. We need Dolphins to lose too. Didn't we go for the Dolphins? We got the Dolphins winning. I go back. I'm going Browns. You got Dolphins. I'm going Browns.
That's fine.
I got you, Jake, but I just can't go for the only one I can't do is the Chiefs one. Skylar Thompson is horrendous, and it is Tyler Huntley playing for the Dolphins. I went Vikings. I don't like the Packers. Sorry, Tom Grassi. It's okay, man. Like I'm not a big fan of the Packers either. There's some animosity there, but like Poggy said, I'd much rather see the Lions get home field advantage, and the whole Sam Darnold narrative to kind of take a hit. I would prefer that. They waived Skylar Thompson, I believe. Okay. I remember when I'm not trying. I know you have to get out of here quick, and I know I'm prolonging this. But do you remember the narrative? I don't know if you're around for this. That Skylar Thompson could be the next Brock Purdy.
No,
because he was drafted ahead of him or some shit. Yeah, that's so stupid. Atlanta Falcons at Commanders.
I think the Commanders. I mean, they need this win to stay in the playoff hopes. They lose here, I think they kind of fall out of it. So
the Falcons are also trying to play for a playoff spot too.
I know, and they're in a. I mean,
they're 8-7. What are the Bucks? The Bucks are 8-7 as well. Oh my God, this is huge.
It's a big game. This is kind of far for their division. So I mean, it's a big game for them. So
Penix though,
I know it's a big game for both teams.
Be a rookie battle.
I'm just gonna go for. No, it's hard to go against the Commanders on this one because I think it's snowing there in Washington too. It's gonna be a tough game because they're a dome team, Atlanta. So
yeah,
they're not.
If Penix knows how to use his weapons, unlike Kirk does, it could be a W easily for the Falcons. The only thing is the optics because Kirk Cousins is so bad, the teams look bad with it.
Yeah.
But Penix last week versus I don't remember who it was, but looked pretty good. I'm going to go Commanders as well. I want them to go to the playoffs, and honestly, I don't care too much about the Falcons, even though I'm rooting for Penix, but I'm also rooting for Jaden Daniels. There's just more to go for.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not a big. I don't either way, it doesn't really matter too much to me. I just hope it's a good game.
Yes, that's a good point, especially on Sunday Night Football. Like you need a good one. It's kind of weird seeing these two teams on Sunday Night Football. It's kind of weird. Not gonna lie. And then we got the Detroit Lions at the 49ers. 49ers, they're 7%.
Oh, they got 7%. Look at that. Good job. Yeah, Niners are gonna blow them out. No, obviously it's Detroit. Detroit's gonna. I think that 3.5 point. Yeah, right. It's gonna be like a 30-3 game or something like that. I don't even know if we'll get a touchdown because Brock Purdy's gonna just have a bad day. We got no running. We have no running game. We don't even have. Who's our running back?
It's going to be, I think Isaac Guerendo is actually going to play in this game.
Oh, is Guerendo back? Woo.
I think he is. Woo! And then
he probably goes out injured again. So he probably goes out injured again. He's probably playing hurt. So, he's going to, I mean, we got no offensive line. Yeah. We'll have no offense today. So I don't know if we're going to score any points. Or it's just going to be, I don't know if we'll score.
Yeah.
I'll give us 3 points.
Give us 3 points. I don't think we're gonna get shut out, but I do agree because their defense is decimated a little bit. I'm not gonna lie about that, but their defense is still better compared to our offense. Yeah. We don't have Ayuk. Debo, I guess, is kind of looked like his old self for some reason at this bad fucking time. Kittle's gonna have to play 6 offensive linemen for sure, no doubt. So we're never gonna see him out there. You got Isaac Guerendo, so no run game because the offensive line is not gonna make holes. This offense is going to look anemic. Brock Purdy's Kyle Shanahan's putting him out there to die. I don't know why Tanner Mordecai's not playing or a backup quarterback's not playing.
I mean, you can't, right?
What do you mean you can't?
You can't put a backup quarterback in there and say we're not trying to win games.
But the reality, okay, I'm all for trying to win games, okay? But now you're trying to protect your quarterback at this point. It's not like you're going in there trying to go into the playoffs. You're trying to protect your asset. You're going to go out there, and he's going to get his ass beat, Poggy. He's going to get sacks left and right.
He better get the ball out quick. They just got to. Shanahan's going to have to do something to design to get the ball out quick. I don't think you can bench Purdy just because you have a shit line. So I think you got to. You got to design something around your shit line. So you can't just sit Purdy because you got a crap ass line because then what do the optics say? Well, we're just looking to lose the rest of the season. Just bench him the rest of the season.
I don't think anyone anyone would criticize the 49ers for being like, okay, let's protect the guy we're about to give $60 million to, and then the paper line you have out there. He's going to get
bench him the rest of the season.
Television.
Bench him the rest of the season.
No, he still needs to beat the Arizona Cardinals. He goes out
bench him the rest of the season then.
The Cardinals are not the Lions, man.
But he could still get hurt potentially. He could get hurt any game though. So it's like you're playing a hurt Detroit Lions defense. So I mean, you can't just bench him because of that. I mean, I don't want him to go out there and get hurt. It'd be great to see him not go out there and get hurt, but you can't just bench him for one game. You can't bench him for one game because then it looks bad. It looks really bad because it shows that you're not trying to go out there and win, and it doesn't say anything for the team, right? So
I'm all for building culture. You gotta keep it going, but I feel like out of all justifications, considering the offensive line, no playoffs. So I just feel like the one time that you do not put your starting quarterback out there in this game, in a game where the Lions want to straight up destroy you, I just think you got to be logical here. Anyway, I want the Sam Darnold narrative to die. So do I. Karen, it was a bad decision. Commanders, he's got the Commanders. Sam's getting a bag somewhere. Nice to see him playing well. SF fans wish him well. He's going to get a bag somewhere, but I don't like this whole Sam Darnold is better than Purdy bullshit.
Yeah.
I hope Sam Darnold gets destroyed in the playoffs respectively. Yeah, I can't go for him because of what everyone says about Sam Darnold. I just can't do it. I don't want him doing well because Purdy haters will say Darnold's better. Exactly. Lions, I agree, Juan, you have a Grinch heart. I think he has a realistic heart, man. I don't want to deal with all of offseason of Sam Darnold. See, he's better. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, I just because he played backup one time, I'm not in there. Garendo, I'm not doing it. Garendo, at least he'll actually catch the checkdowns. That's true. Shows that, and I think Purdy will have to actually focus on checkdowns here, considering the time he has.
Yeah.
Shows what putting a good team around you does. Sam, Gino, Baker all have a good year. Exactly. I think Sam is in probably one of the best positions.
Gino's had a terrible year.
Yeah, he's had a terrible year.
Passing yards wise, he's had a good year, but interceptions, I think he leads the league.
He's got some terrible plays out there. 6 points against the Bears. I mean, I'm forever holding that against him. Go 2 tight end sets, have Sauer stay back in and block, keep Kittle in the passing patterns. That's not going to happen. He's got even then have 7 offensive linemen out there. Have Sauber and Kittle block. It's going to be bad, dude. They need to get Brock out of the pocket in this game. Yeah, he's going to be scrambling a lot. It's going to happen. Hey, I still don't think Gino's good. I don't think he's that good either. Karen, Gino is not doing better than Brock this year. He has like 4 more interceptions. Yeah, he's not doing nearly as good as Brock. Brock's actually, if you go look at it, I can't remember last time I checked, he actually has pretty good stats considering the situation. Hey, Milwaukee. Hey, Milwaukee. No, haven't seen you forever. Welcome back. Okay, so that is predictions. That's what we got. I got it all written down. Poggy's going to lose this week because I'm going to be right throughout this entire week. I'm going to catch up. I may be down by 1 game in the end, but I'm going to prove him wrong that I'm right.
He'll still have a losing record.
I'm still going to catch up, dude. I'm still going to make it happen. It's going to happen. Strawberry Seattle is 9-7. Yeah, but football is a team sport. It's not a quarterback sport.
Their defense and their defense has been playing pretty well for them.
We beat the Cowboys. Cowboys have a better record than us. It's a team sport. So, all right. So coming back to this. So thank you guys so much for joining this live. We got to get out of here. Polly's got to bounce. He's got a Christmas party he's got to go to. Then potentially a New Year's Eve one in like a couple days, which is weird. Shove it all together. Thank you so much, Jake. Good luck with your Bengals, man. I wish you the best. And I wish that, you guys make the playoffs and we can go for Joe Burrow. I really do hope that happens. I like him. Appreciate having you, Jake. Papa J, best mod ever. Appreciate you so much, man. You support this channel. You put in all work. You're OG, man. You helped me out. Thank you so much. Milwaukee, I know you just came in late, man, but appreciate you anyway. Juan, as always, man, I appreciate you too, though we don't always agree. Same thing with Strawberry, man. You guys are awesome. Karen, I think for once we actually disagree. Do not believe in Gino. You do. Hey, that's you. Welcome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Karen, Strawberry ready. There was someone else. I know there's plenty. Wow, you guys are very consistent today. 49er Brian, good to see you. Good to see you as always. Just jumping in and jumping out. Good to see you. Scott Lacoste Jr. Always comes in. Support the channel for a few minutes. Hey, I'll take it. Who was the other guy? Nope, that was everybody. Hey, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Truly, to the bottom of my heart, this channel is nothing without you. We're just a bunch of random guys on the internet spewing shit, our opinions and what we have to say, and you guys support that. It is absolutely nothing without you. I appreciate you guys' opinions. I appreciate you guys' takes, and I appreciate you contributing to this awesome conversation that we have for an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes. It's truly amazing, and I'm baffled at how successful this channel is becoming and just how far we're getting. 3,600 more subscribers I ever thought I'd ever fucking have. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much. To everybody who watched this later, sub if you like the channel. If you like the content, you like the conversation, you like to disagree and put in your input, hey, we'd like to hear it. Appreciate you guys to sub for that. Like if you like this live. If you hate everything else, but for some reason this live was like, it tickled my fancy a little bit. Like the live away. Poggy, do you have any final thoughts?
Justin Herbert's great.
Mid. All right. Anyway, like the live. It makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang. Let's go. Next video. I meant bang, bang, not a gang.